Hi there and welcome to the first screencast for 227212 Animal Production for Veterinarians, the Biostats lectures. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Biostats section on stream. I'm going to scroll down until we get to the computer labs and we're going to load up Biostats Lab1. And I'm just going to read through it. I've done all the introductory stuff installing R and Rstudio on my computer. So now I'm going to download the first lab file by right-clicking and saving as, so save link as or save file as, depends on your browser, and I am going to pop it into a folder where I know where it is, and then I'm going to go into Rstudio and I'm going to load up that file. So I'm going to open that file from where I saved it. So here it is here. Now, this is Rstudio if you haven't seen it before. This window up the top is the main editor window where we're going to be reading and writing code and so on. Down here is the console window where code gets executed. Over here is where files are, plots are, and various other things. And up here is where our environment is. So these are the variables that we have loaded, or the data sets that we have loaded will appear up here. So I'm going to actually just minimize this one here because I don't think we're going to need it today. And we're just going to go through the document here. So this here is a Markdown document. So Markdown is basically it's essentially a way of combining plain text with a little bit of editing information in terms of for presentation. So for example, there's two hashes here before the introduction, which specifies that this is a heading. And the number of hashes simply says, denotes sort of how big the heading is. So fewer hashes, so one hash is a giant heading, two hashes is a subheading, three hashes is a subheading, and so on. And you'll see that there's some special sort of formatting here that gives us a link. So this here is what gives us a link. Okay, the square brackets are what shows up in the final document. So you'll just see R, and there's the link that happens when you click on R. Okay, and there's a plain link there. Here's we've got some bold text. Okay, because I've surrounded the text with two asterisks. A single asterisk, like this one here, would give us italics. Two asterisks, bold. Three asterisks would be bold, italics, and so on. Okay, and then we have this normal text here, which we can just read as and type whatever we like, pretty much. But we also have these little code blocks, such as this one here, which is essentially where we do our analysis. So it has a special sort of delimiters, these three backtick characters, and then a brace, R, close brace, and three backticks to end it. And you can see that when you set it up like that, Rstudio automatically gives you a different background and gives you some little icons that we can use. And the most important of these really is the play one. When I play that, what it does is it executes that code and gives me the output from the code. So this is done 3 plus 4 times 5, which of course is 23, right? Remembering that multiplication is has priority over addition in standard arithmetic. So it does the 4 times 5 first and then adds the 3. The one before it here is just telling us that this is the first entry in the answer. So usually when we're dealing with data sets, we have more than one number, right? So when we do some computation, we're going to get more than one number as the answer. And so the one here just, you'll see it later on, will be useful for telling us sort of how many, the index of the numbers that have been spat out, basically. So we can do some more stuff. So this paragraph here is just talking about how you can run lines one by one. So I can do it with Control Enter on my keyboard. If you're on a Mac, it'll be Command Enter. So this is doing the square root of 25 and the natural logarithm of 100. Okay, so notice that when I did that, when I run the square root, it just gives me the output of the square root, and I don't get the output of the log because I've just run that one line. Okay, and if I run the log line, then I'll just get the output from the log. If I run both using the play, then I'll get both output. And I can do that also by selecting them and then Control Enter or pressing the Run button up here. So I can run selected lines. You can see that's Control Enter, the shortcut. Okay, and that's rerun those. Okay, so that's just basic mathematics. Let's sort of add a little bit more to it. So there's two main types of statement in R. There's an expression, which is what we've been doing, where you execute something, work something out, and the output from that is then printed to your script or to your Markdown file. So that's what we've done so far. You know, we worked out 3 + 4 × 5 and printed the outcome of that. But instead of printing, we can actually assign the outcome to a variable so that we can use that variable later. So for example, here we've got an expression, 3 + 4 × 5, and then we're assigning it with the equals to the variable a. So when I run that command with Control Enter, you'll notice that I don't get any output down here, but of course something has happened. A is 23, I can see in my environment. So I've created a new variable a, which takes the value 23. And if I didn't want to look up here to see what a is, then I can just print a just by typing it on a separate line. Right, so when I run the a command, the a expression, because a takes a value, it gives me that value back. Okay. So of course, now that we have the variable a, we can use it. So for example, down here, we're using the variable a in this expression here. So we've got the expression 3:a. So let's run that, and we're assigning that to b. So when we run that, we're going to get nothing spat out down here because we've assigned it to b, but we do have b up here. And you can see that b is a range of, is a big long, it's more than one number. It's a vector of numbers, or an array of numbers, a list of numbers if you like. And we can see what b is just by typing b and pressing enter, and there it is there. So you can see that b is all the numbers from 3 to 23, all the whole numbers from b to 23. So you can see that the colon operator here, 3:a, a is 23, so we just have 3:23, which is all the numbers from 3 to 23 inclusive. When we do b times 2, then we naturally get all of the numbers in b multiplied by 2, right? So 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 2 is 8, so we get all the even numbers from 6 through 46, which is 23 times 2. Okay, I'm going to pause here so that we don't have lots and lots of long videos.